This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
A former Stoughton, Massachusetts police detective charged with murdering a pregnant woman. You may remember this case. Appeared in a brief court hearing on Monday as both sides continued reviewing evidence. Yes, it's the Sandra Birchmore case. You know, the one that kind of has weird ties to Karen Reed with certain officers and misconduct and allegations of such. Yeah. Well, both sides are continuing to review the evidence. In case you're wondering where it's at, Matthew Farwell, who's 38, was indicted in August of 24 for the death of 23-year-old Sandra Birchmore, who was found dead in her Canton apartment on February 4th, 2021. Birchmore was 3 months pregnant and was allegedly killed to prevent authorities from uncovering Farwell's long-term sexual exploitation of her. Yes, you're saying, what's going on here? She's 23. Yes, she was 23 then, but this started way before that. Farwell's long-term sexual exploitation goes like this. Prosecutors say Farwell first met Birchmore when she was a child in the Stoughton Police Department's Youth Explorers program. By the time she was 15 and he was a 27-year-old officer, authorities allege that he had begun an inappropriate sexual relationship with her that continued into adulthood. According to investigators, Birchmore told Farwell in December of 2020 that he was the father of the unborn child, at which point he became aggressive. Court documents allege that he put her in a headlock and told her he wished she were dead. Like you do when you find out you're going to be a dad. I remember that moment. It was like, oh, no, that's insane. You don't do that.
Yeah. No, you don't do that.
Monday's hearing focused on the ongoing discovery process. Farwell was not required to appear in court outside of the courthouse. Birchmore supporters gathered in protest and spoke to the media. One said, "It's been a long time coming, and I hope that Sandra finally gets justice. Hopefully this year," said Birchmore's cousin, Barbara Wright. "I define justice as being Matthew go behind bars for the rest of his life." Prosecutors argue that Farwell staged Birchmore's death to look like a suicide. The indictment claims he acted to prevent authorities from uncovering his criminal behavior, which allegedly included engaging in sex acts with Birchmore while on duty. Farwell has pled not guilty. An internal affairs investigation revealed that Birchmore first encountered Farwell at age 13 through the Stoughton Explorers program. Investigators say he used the position as a police officer to groom, exploit, and abuse her, continuing the relationship into her adulthood. While on duty, Farwell allegedly falsified records to claim he was working when he was actually with Birchmore. In late January 2021, just a week before Birchmore's death, a friend of hers contacted the Stoughton Police Department and mentioned Farwell's sexual involvement with her. When Farwell learned of the inquiry, investigators say he sent Birchmore angry messages and visited her apartment, requesting a spare key and urging her to keep it secret. Federal authorities allege that in the days leading up to her death, Farwell searched Birchmore's home, including her closets and bathroom, before ultimately killing her. Her death was initially ruled a suicide, but federal investigators later uncovered new evidence that led to Farwell's indictment. Stoughton Police Chief Donna McNarma has strongly condemned Farwell's alleged actions, citing and calling them the single worst act of not just professional misconduct, but indeed human indecency that I have observed in a nearly 3-decade career in law enforcement. As I have stated previously, Sandra Birchmore received no justice during her life. It is imperative that justice be served in her death, and today's actions appear to bring our society one step closer to justice, McNamara said in that statement. Farwell, who resigned from the Stoughton Police Department in April of 22, is expected to return to court in April as legal proceedings continue. I just find it ironic that he had to resign and they couldn't just can him, but,
Right.
there's laws and that stuff. But anyway,
The system can be very frustrating, and there's procedures and formalities that need to take place before you can just oust somebody, even if you've got this much evidence. It's astounding sometimes. If you've ever heard of a professor that needs to be let go from a university, the process that they have to go through, especially if they've got tenure, is just
I don't
incredible.
understand this, why we ever thought this was a good idea. Where did this come about? I'm curious. Like, what is the history on that being a good idea?
Which being a good idea? All these
Tenure.
loopholes? Oh, damned if I know. I had a professor in my family, and just, the stuff they could get away with.
Yeah, I mean, it's
They
like
wanted to.
it can be such an abused system, and yeah, I mean, it can be great and secure for those who are worth it, and there certainly are those out there, but yeah, but it can be certainly used and abused horribly as well.
Well, it doesn't feel like there's checks and balances in
No.
place,
No.
So once you achieve that, you just write your own ticket at that point. It feels like, and we're putting a big umbrella over it.
Yeah.
There are some obviously absolutely wonderful tenured professors.
Yeah.
That's not what we're getting at. There's the bad apples that barely teach the class. They show up and have an assignment and they walk out and do their own thing.
Yeah.
It's just, I've seen it. I've been in those classes where it's like, I'm paying you to teach me. Would you fucking teach me organic chemistry, please? Yeah.
You okay?
Then they're done that.
Deep breath. You good?
Sorry. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Sorry, it triggered me a little bit.
It's a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, it's just a sickening case, and it sounds like they hopefully have a better grasp on their force now, and hopefully are weeding out or have weeded out the bad apples, as everyone says. Maybe, I don't know, but they certainly have a spotlight on them. This and the Canton Police Department, and yeah, not a time for bad looks.
No, and my question is, how many departments across at least the United States? I know we have listeners from all over the world, but here in the United States, are there these explorer programs? I've seen, like at our county fair, I've seen younger people walking around with the police officers, and they're wearing a shirt, like it doesn't say explorers program,
Yeah.
but something that they're with the police officers.
Yeah.
What kind of oversight is there to make sure that there isn't something like this going on? It's sad that we even have to think like that, but are there
I don't know. I
people
mean,
keeping track?
that's the thing, because it's not like he probably didn't really violate any of the rules of the Explorers program during the Explorers program, because there's other people around. This is something that it's sick he met her there, but then he's like carrying on all this relationship on the side. So how would you see that if you're just in that and you're helping to run the damn Explorers program? I don't know. I mean, sometimes these people just get in, and I mean, unless you subject who's ever running it to, random cell phone screenings and things like that. I don't know. I don't know how you would actually do that.
Yeah, I don't know either. This is just a really tragic case all the way around.
Yeah.
This young girl deserved so much better.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Craving non-stop true crime updates? Press subscribe now and get the latest cases, analysis, and expert commentary delivered straight to your feed. Only from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.